Connection. Woo! Well, hello everyone.
Hello,
Oh my
Instagram.
God. Hello, Instagram. I love
Hello,
this.
Facebook.
This is Reagan Hillier's Egyptian goddess filter. Well, hello, Facebook. Hello, Instagram. Woo! Yes. I love Instagram because it has so many filters that are so fun. So if you're watching this on Facebook, you can watch us on Instagram too. And I have a goddess filter, on me right now. Whoa, this is so amazing. Anyways, welcome everyone. My name is Judy.
And I am Iggy. Hello.
Hello.
For another one in our Cacao talks.
Here's our
Cheers.
Cacao. Cheers, Cacao. We are making it a point to come on here every Friday and talk with you guys and have a little fireside chat. you got the We're just cracking up because the filter went to Iggy's head. And so, if you're on Facebook. Anyways.
If you move your head out of the screen, it jumps on me.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, this filter is just rocking. Thank you, Reagan Hillier, for this filter. I love it so much. But yes, we are drinking our cacao. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to have a cacao talk with you guys and continue to have these conscious conversations. These conversations about where we're headed,
what's going on
on the planet, our expansion in our physical bodies,
in our consciousness,
where the earth is headed. And so every week we are going to be talking about a topic that
hopefully you'll find helpful.
Because we want to share now the experiences that we're going through this ascension process, and also share some things that we know and share information and some nuggets of wisdom and practices and techniques and some light language transmissions, too. So we are committed. Well, I'm committed to doing this because it was told to me to do this. And I'm on a 90-day cacao, I don't know what it is. Regimen right now. My guides told me to drink cacao for 90 days. So I'm doing it. It's been a month.
Cheers. Now.
It's my second month, so October, November, and December. And cacao is, what does it say? Cancel request. Oh, no worries. No worries. Cacao has been such a big part of our lives, a big part of our healing. And it is just a beautiful sacred plant medicine that helps you open up your heart, heals so many things, helps you tap into the passions that you hold inside. And it is just a powerful medicine, and it's been used for thousands of years, thousands of years. Has a lot of health benefits as well as spiritual, benefits too. So we encourage everybody to drink cacao. If everybody on this whole planet would drink cacao, oh man.
This would be a different place.
This would be a different planet filled with so much love. So we do encourage everybody to drink cacao as much as possible. So every day, if you can, and if you're called. Yeah, if you're called. So if you on Instagram and on Facebook, I just made a reel about cacao and what I put in cacao and my little ritual, in the morning.
And we'd be happy to share with you our recipe and how we make it.
Yeah. So we can tell you what we put in it because we turn it up. This is just not cacao and water. This has a lot of stuff in it, a lot of yummy goodness and a lot of superfoods, in here. So we turn it up, and in our cacao ceremonies, we actually put a lot of all this goodness, in in the cacao so everybody can receive the benefits. So we're going to be drinking cacao as we do this talk for the next hour. And today's topic is
healing for your ascension.
Healing for your ascension journey here on the planet. So as you guys know, the planet is in such craziness right now, and it's in a lot of disarray and a lot of corruption, and all of the manipulation and all of that is coming on the planet to be like recognized. Right?
As we say, shift happens.
Shift happens, right? Shift happens. And so we are seeing an outward expression of what's happening inside. Not
just individually, but in our collective and human collective.
And humanity's collective. So we're really seeing, this dismantling of our false matrix right now. And so that means if you're aware of your energetic body, we're doing a dismantling of the false systems,
the old programming, the old patterns of old ways of thinking, old ways of doing things. And so, the old systems will have to fall. They will have to crumble. And it's never pretty when that's happening.
So we want to talk to you guys today about why it's so important to start your healing process right now. And when we say healing, we mean not like healing like just your physical body, but also healing all of the emotional wounding, the pain and the traumas and the rejection and the abandonment and all of those things inside that we're holding on to that we haven't let go of yet.
Yeah, so let's go what it is, healing multidimensionally.
Yes, so it doesn't only affect our physical, but it affects us on all levels, our mental body, emotional body, and our spiritual body too. So our energetic etheric body. So when we have this pain and we have this wounding inside, it really does manifest outwardly too in the physical. A really good book for you guys to read is Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. And that is an awesome, awesome book because she relates your physical symptoms to what is really going on in your emotional body. Yeah, and then you can see the relationship, to that. And I can speak to like something that happened to me is that for years I've had fibroid tumors in my uterus. And oh man, and I tried to like do healing, for these tumors. They were benign, so, they were just growing, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they got to a point where I looked like I was like 7 months pregnant. That's how big. I had a giant tumor that was the size of my head. And there was another tumor in there that was like the size of a grapefruit. And that tumor inside of my uterus kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And that tumor, I had these 2 giant tumors in my uterus, and I tried so many things to heal it, like different kinds of herbs and things like that. And I went and I researched many different procedures to heal those tumors because I didn't want to have surgery. And my doctor at the time said, well, you can't do anything but have a hysterectomy, and you have to take out your whole uterus. And he was this like old, I don't even know how he was, like 60-something-year-old doctor. And I just said, I don't want to do that. I don't want my uterus out of me. Like, there's nothing wrong with my uterus. It just has some tumors inside. And so he got mad at me for saying that and was like raising his voice and saying like, I've been a gynecologist for 35 years and blah, blah, blah. I know what I'm doing. And I was just like, fuck you. You're not a woman. Like, you don't even know what this feels like. This is my body. Yeah, this is my body. I don't want to have surgery done and take my uterus out. So the universe, I totally stormed out of his office and slammed his door. I was so pissed. but the universe guided me to a woman that takes total body sovereignty. The universe guided me to a doctor. I went first to a procedure that I thought I could have, but I wasn't qualified because my tumors were so big. And so the nurse said, okay, I want you to go to this doctor. She gave me her card, and it was a doctor at this women's clinic. And I totally walked in there crying. I gave her like my little CD of my MRI and my scan of my tumors. And I was crying. I was like, can you take my tumors out without taking out my uterus? And she goes, yeah, I can do it. And I was like, what? I'm like, really? She goes, I just took out somebody's tumors where they look like they were 9 months pregnant. And I was like, whoa. And my tumors, I look like I was 7 months pregnant. So I ended up having, that surgery where my tumors were taken out. But going back to why it manifested in my body, it manifested in my body because at that time I was not in a good relationship. My last 2 children, I was with their father for a number of years, and I did want to be in that relationship. And so when I looked it up in the book, in Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life book, it said, for fibroid tumors, it said stuck in a dead end relationship. And I'm like, holy shit, that's me. Totally stuck in a dead end relationship for freaking years. And this is why my tumor grew so big. And I'm like, oh my God. So that book was really helpful, for my own personal healing in my life. And so I recommend Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, because you can really see the emotional, what's going on with your emotions and how that manifests in the physical.
So we are energetic beings, and everything that happens in a physicality manifests first on energetic level, right?
Yeah.
And so that was the example of that. Your relationship was causing you to be unhappy, to be stuck, to be out of alignment. And then eventually it manifested in physicality because you were not addressing it.
Yeah, and so it was just like the relationship was crazy. I was pregnant with my daughter, and he was cheating on me, and like all kinds of bullshit. And so anyways, and then there was like the trust factor, and then I don't know, it was just all kinds of stuff. And I'm so glad that's done. That's done and done and done. But whatever, I was meant to have 2 babies with him. So anyways, we just know that right now it's really super important to recognize all of the things within you, the wounding, the distortions, within, that negative thinking that you have inside, because we can't take those things to New Earth. And
Absolutely.
We're on a trajectory to create the New Earth. We're not fixing this Earth, we're creating a new Earth. That's what we're doing right now. And we can't create New Earth if we have a lot of density, within us, if we have a lot of stuck energies within us. So right now, it's super important to look at a lot of those things that you have been not addressing, because a lot of people haven't been addressing those things, those painful, things that
well, it's
inside.
not always easy to like look at those things that are hurtful and painful, that have been traumatic for us in life, right? So it's natural for us to want to skirt that, to like not look at it and ignore it, thinking it's going to go away. It's going to go away if I don't look at it, right?
Yeah, and
that's not how it works. And so those things that we ignore, they fester. They're still there. It's like you sweep something under the rug. Well, guess what? The dirt is still there. It's just under the rug now. Right. It's just like you can't see it because it's under the rug, but it's still there.
And so this is a crucial time on the planet if we want to, create still
cacao. It's like my 4th cup today.
This is cacao and conscious conversation, so we got to keep the cacao going on, even though we had cacao this morning. So
we need to have cacao on a tap in my household, so we can just.
I wish we had cacao on tap, that would be amazing. Yeah.
Holy cacao.
Holy cacao. Exactly. So, cacao is healing, you guys. You got the thing now on your Iggy. Yeah, cacao is so healing. So, going back to this trajectory of enlightenment, where we're going, this trajectory is going to take a while for everybody to really awaken up to knowing that we're on this path of ascension. That some people aren't. Some people are going to exit the planet, because they're not going to be able to handle the frequencies. And they'll be coming back though another time, or another planet, or whatever. But those who stay here, and are here for the new earth, here for the ascension, then you really have to
over. Have some cacao with us.
Yeah, come cacao with us. Those people that are going to be staying on the planet, which most of you are, you're going to be here for that ascension journey. So,
those of you who vibe with us, that are watching, that resonate with the messages that we're sharing, you are already on your path,
right?
Most likely. And so we honor path of all the souls, even those that exit this planet, because we're all in service to the universe, whether we realize it or not.
Right.
So the first step is really it's helpful if we accept that we are multidimensional beings, that we are more than just this body, and that we have these other energetic bodies that interact with the physicality. In fact, physicality is manifestation of other higher energetic bodies. So this is a very small part of who we are. But we are not taught that. And that's why it's such a paradigm shift for many people until they awaken to come to full realization or understanding that this body is a small fragment of who I am, and this body doesn't define who I am. So that's part of the greater truth, right? But healing, as Judy said, means healing on many different levels. In fact, healing is more important on energetic levels first, because those impact the physicality.
Right. So our bodies are naturally self-healing. I just want you guys to know that the bodies are naturally self-healing when we are really in that state of homeostasis, and we can regulate all of our systems.
So the body's self-regulating and self-healing. It's an incredible organism, incredible mechanism that is self-healing. We just need to allow it to heal. So we need to create an environment that is supportive of healing, right? And that is to eliminate stress, have proper diet, have sufficient rest, drink good quality water, and not put toxins into your body, or add to the toxins that we already get from environment.
Yeah, so when we understand that we're not just our body, but we are totally multidimensional too. So we are in our multidimensionality, we need to address all of the inner energies, the outer energies, and the multi-dimensional energies, as well. So it really is a spiritual process. You got the thing again. There you go. So it's a spiritual,
People
energetic
on Facebook
process.
don't see that.
I know.
So what the hell are you guys doing? Moving your heads. And we're playing with this app and whatever you have on your head.
It's an Egyptian
crown.
Goddess crown on my head.
Yeah.
So when we do address all of that, the inner, outer, and the multidimensional, aspects, then we can come to that place where we achieve personal freedom.
Yes, absolutely. So ultimately, it's about discovering and embracing our sovereignty,
right?
Our divinity, honoring our divinity.
So then we can have this freedom from all the constructs, right? All the constructs, the psychological and the spiritual suffering, and
the
all
inverted
of the
truths.
Yeah, and all of the limitations. So we have to start to regain our memory of our ability to personally heal and to clear ourselves so that we can be free from all of the suffering, here.
And then we also step into accountability and responsibility for our own actions, for our own cause of suffering, for our own cause of disease.
So we can really get at the root cause of that suffering. Like, why did that suffering have to happen to me? So really the suffering is like interference, right?
Well, but suffering also serves a purpose, right? Suffering can also be means for awakening. So some people actually, many people need to hit that rock bottom in order to reach a point where they make a conscious decision that I've had enough.
Right.
Enough of this crap. I can't go on like this any longer. And how many of you can resonate with that, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this is it. I'm not willing to go down that path any further. That is the point of reversal of energy that was taking you down in that direction, and it served its purpose. I like what Eckhart Tolle says about suffering. Is suffering necessary? Yes and no. Suffering is necessary until you realize it is no longer necessary. So it serves its purpose in awakening to the fact that, hey, I don't need to suffer.
Right.
And once you have that realization, you make better choices for yourself.
Yeah, so with this, suffering that we experience, it is this disconnection too between our body and our connection with our the spiritual energetic bodies and
your higher self
and their source light. Okay, so it's that disconnection, and so we all hold this blueprint to source light. All of us. And we are actually here to express this divine blueprint here on the planet. But what's happened is that because we live in this false matrix here, we've had hijacking done, like hijacking done within all of these different bodies, things, put into us, demonic things, implants, and all kinds of craziness. I can talk
We've
about
been programmed by malarkey.
Yeah, so and like negative alien architecture, that's new to you guys. If that's new to you guys, yes, like there are like some dark ones that put shit on people and loose their energy because they can't receive energy from the source, and they have to receive energy from humans, and they lose humanity's energy so that they can survive because they can't get energy from source light. So anyways, if that's new to you, I mean, I know that's a lot, but but that totally happens, and this is why it's like so super important to recognize all of those things.
Yeah. So
to recognize it, to look at all the things within you that are holding back, all the blocks, all the limitations, all the wounding, the suffering, all of that is within you, and to start to take the steps.
So healing,
to heal.
Yeah. So the healing really means removing all those layers, right? Unlearning all of those things we've been programmed with, and understanding that I am not my thoughts, I am not even my mind, I'm the observer, right? And so once you understand that you are something greater, something more than this physical body, then you can take a different perspective, looking at yourself and this existence and this density and this entire experience. And so maybe we can go back to homeostasis, right? And what happens when you're not in homeostasis?
Yeah, because so when you're disconnected from source light, then what happens is then shit happens to your body, right? You get disease, or you have depression, all kinds of things can happen to you. And so what happens is that your DNA instruction starts to deteriorate. Okay, when that happens.
Right, and DNA is a code, essentially. Everything in this universe is constructed out of code. And so that DNA is the blueprint how the body heals itself and reconstructs cells and organs, etc. And it is an incredible mechanism of self-healing. But of course, we need to consider all the other toxic influences from our environment, particularly today. But more damaging even than toxins is really negative programming and depression and your mental negative state, right? Because that impacts your consciousness. Like you create what you focus on. If you're focused on negativity, if you see everything from this dark perspective, right? Then you're focusing on the negativity. You create more of that. So you attract more of that negativity.
So really, how we can really recognize and move through the healing process, we have to understand that there's more to us, right? We're energetic beings, and that we have to come in union with our multi-dimensional selves and have this integration of polarity, within us. So because we live in this dualistic world right now,
we chose it too.
Yeah, we chose it. There's light and dark and good and bad, and all of that. So it is merging, the merging of the polarity, so we can get into that 0 point field, right? If you guys have heard of the 0 point field, so it's a field, actually a balance, right, of equanimity.
And that's when you are in total acceptance of what is.
So it's a non-polarized charged field when you get into that space of 0 point. And this is when you're in that space is when you can achieve the inner balance and have the health and well-being. Right?
Yeah, and that's basically when you exist in flow, right? When we say you get in that flow, sometimes athletes say that they get in that zone when everything just happens effortlessly for them because they've been training for it, right? But we have this natural ability to exist in this flow, which is really just being in harmony with creation and with our divinity, because that's our higher self exists in that space. It's just in this density because we have come through the veil and then gone through this programming that impacted our thinking and perception. We started to put blocks and limitations on our thoughts and our beliefs, right? And that is how it got hijacked.
Yeah, so there's so much hijacking on a spiritual level, you guys. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And so sometimes I wish, we're just talking about this morning, like sometimes I wish that everybody's third eye gifts were open, because then if you could really see with your spiritual eye the hijacking, of humanity, we would change so many things. We would understand things from a different level and actually do more spiritual healing. And instead of take pills, you're depressed, here you go. Here's some pharmaceuticals.
We'd have much greater understanding, right? And we would see the impact that those other beings and entities and whatnot have on us, and we would go, hell no, you're not getting it.
Sovereignty, you're out. Yeah, right. So this is what we have to understand, is that, it's just not, we're here with other beings, okay, you guys. So we're here with other beings, so not just humans too. So there are
and they're not all of light.
There's interdimensional, beings, and there's higher dimensional beings. There's angels, ascended masters. There's galactic beings. There's a lot of beings that are in existence, right now, and and we don't have that that higher sensory perception to know that they exist.
Right.
And so unless you have some of your DNA activated and you have your gifts, then you know that.
It's nearly impossible for us if we're not fully conscious of these beings existing in other dimensions that interact with our reality to even have a discernment and feel what is mine and what's not mine. And like people can actually have entities within them that act upon their own will, right? And so people can't discern what's my ego, what's my mind versus what may be another entity acting through them.
Yeah, and this is why we feel right now that the healing process has to start so that you can release all those things, whether it be implants, entities, whatever it is, all of the trauma that you've had, even ancestral trauma, right? We've got all this like family lineage trauma stuck in our DNA, too, and all of the trauma from our past timelines.
But all of that can be healed.
Yeah, but all of it can be healed, which is awesome. So, and I want you guys to know, like, when you heal yourself, you heal 7 generations forward and 7 generations back, too. So you actually heal your family lineage.
Yeah.
And for us, one of the fast-tracking ways that Iggy and I have healed ourselves is through plant medicine. And in our last retreat in Costa Rica, where we journeyed with Mama Ayahuasca, she told me that she was put on the planet to awaken and heal humanity. That's what she told me. And she said that there's other plants in the Amazon that are also here to help heal and awaken humanity, and we just haven't found them yet. But that's what she told me. And so I know that she is one of those sacred plants that helps people understand the multidimensionality of themselves and also receive a lot of healing on that level, like if you desire that. And so Iggy and I have fast-tracked, a lot of our healing journey through the sacred plants, through ayahuasca, through magic mushrooms and psilocybin, and we have found that it's healed so much, like ancestral stuff, right? Family lineage stress, like, it's crazy.
But it is not. It is also important to understand that it's not a magic pill, and throughout that process, it became clear to me that our ultimate technology is our consciousness.
Yeah, it's within us. That's within us.
So this is the essence of who we are, pure consciousness, because consciousness is a construct behind this entire universe. This is the great spirit, or whatever you might call it. You could call it divinity, God, source energy within us all. And that is what animates life. That is what life with capital L is, in this entire universe. And so our consciousness gives us ability to heal, to transmute, to release those things that no longer serve us.
Right.
I was actually having download when I was in Peru and journeyed with Aya, and we already left the Moloka, the ceremonial space. So we're done with ceremony. Ceremony was closed, but the medicine was still in my body. We went to our room, and I'm laying on a bed, and I was like motor mouth. I continued just like downloading stuff, and I was like sharing with Judy, but I'm getting this like lesson from breatharians. They're teaching me how we can actually exist without water and food. And also then I was getting other downloads from Mama Aya, how we have ability to restructure our own DNA. We can recode our own DNA. Our consciousness is incredible. We just have forgotten the keys and abilities that we have to this incredible power that can be used for something absolutely beautiful.
And so, in order to understand all of that, you have to understand the opposite of that. You have to understand the negative alien architecture, all these interdimensional beings. You have to understand the ascension process, the mind control that's been happening, how they hijacked our DNA. It's like, if we really, really, really want to further, ourselves, you have to understand really what has happened here on the planet.
That is another talk, because we can talk for hours about
that
stuff.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
we need to talk about the origins of humanity, right?
The
creation of humanity. We've had some talks about that before.
We'll do a talk about that.
but why was it that humanity was messed with? And there is that's such a big topic in itself.
Yeah.
Why was humanity messed with, and who were these beings that messed with us, right?
So we can talk about that, another time. But we really wanted to address healing right now. Like right now, it's such an important time to heal, to go inside and see what is out of alignment inside of you and start addressing those things right now.
It always starts with a decision, right? Everything starts with your own decision to heal and start getting better, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
It could be physical, could be trauma, it could be emotional pain, whatever that is. You as an individual, as a sovereign being, holds the power to make that shift. And it all starts with you making a decision to cut that out of your life, to heal from it, to move past it. It was there for a reason. So on some level, you chose that. And then, it was also a lesson of some sort, right? So it's most helpful when you understand what that lesson is. And once you understand what that lesson is, you can be grateful for it, release it, and move on. And you're gonna be that much wiser, because that's a major lesson in our life and major hurdle in our life that we need to overcome.
And so, just personally for myself, like healing trauma from past relationships and things like that, I understand that like I had to go through all that shit so I could be here in this space, in this role, and help people heal. And so, because I have such a great understanding for those who have tried to commit suicide. I mean, because I was there too, where I wanted to exit the planet twice in my life. So I have so much compassion and real deep understanding of what that feels like. And I know I had to go through those times so that I could like rise up and also, help people now. And also like my journey as a single mother. I know so many people, so many women who are single moms, and a single mom, 4 kids, like freaking that's hard as fuck. Like you guys have kids,
with one child,
you know that already.
Let alone 4.
Right. And so going through that journey of like sacrificing myself, for my children. And it wasn't until my first ayahuasca ceremony 5 years ago that I finally was like, oh my God, wow, I'm not even healing myself. I'm not even doing things for myself to help me be in balance, to help me be like the best version. I mean, I thought I was by reading like personal development books and spiritual books, but no, I really wasn't.
Well, books only take you so far.
Yeah.
But books don't really necessarily make you make that step, making that decision and actually put actions in place, right, to heal.
Right. And so we know that in any kind of healing process that you do, it doesn't matter. It could be reading a book, you could be doing plant medicine, it could be whatever, like any kind of
meditations, yoga.
Yeah, it could be, NLP, it could be quantum healing, hypnosis, whatever kind of thing that you do. It really is the afterwards, what do you do with that? It is really the integration of that healing. What do you do?
And that really means daily practices. What are you choosing to focus on daily? Because it's those daily practices that make lasting shifts in your life.
And so, there's a lot in my life that I have experienced in like healing modalities. When I first started awakening, I got into Reiki and then yoga and meditation, and I found out about past life regressions, hypnotherapy, and I started doing that and facilitating, that. And then it wasn't really, for myself, it wasn't really until I did plant medicine that it really, the healing exponentiated. Like it really just soared a lot in my own personal journey. And so I know that the sacred plants of this planet can accelerate healing processes for people, as well as like holotropic breath work. Can do that. I'm not saying that's the only way, but I'm just saying for myself, it was a way for me to heal a lot of trauma, heal a lot of like ancestral wounding, just heal so much. And I'm still going through my own stuff right now, and I'm still working on myself. But I'm so glad that I really do have some of my gifts open where I can be guided, as to what I need to do for healing, and which is awesome. And connect with people too that will help me in my own healing process and in my own journey. And so it's like healing in layers. You do one thing.
Really, healing is never like turning on a switch. Ascension is not like turning on a switch, right? It's not on and off kind of thing. It literally like it's stripping the layers. First, we have to strip all the layers of the programming and limited beliefs and limited thinking and understanding ways in which our mind is limiting us and keeping us from healing and from advancing, from developing spiritually.
Yeah, so this is where you're mastering your pain body, right? And you're mastering your ego so that you can have this spiritual maturity, and you can
You want water?
Yes, thank you. Then you are no longer in that like that victimizer mode anymore, right?
Absolutely.
Woo! What was that? That was kind of some interference there. So, anyways, so we just wanted to stress right now the importance of doing you guys do any kind of healing work, whatever that is. Like,
nobody else can do it for you.
Yeah, no one can do it for you. You're the one who has to take that step, to take that effort to heal yourself. For me, like I have been dedicating, I don't know, for a while now, like several hours of doing like self-healing a day, and I find like it's like really shifting me. I can feel like a lot of shift in my chakras and everything, and so it's been really good to understand that I can like do things to heal my own self, but there's a level of mastery that I have, so that I can like do that on myself.
One other thing that I wanted to mention is that healing really requires a certain level of honesty with oneself, right?
For sure.
So the first thing is be completely honest where you are at, and be willing to look at everything that is holding you back, whatever that is, and deep down within your heart, all of you know what that is, you deep down you know what things you ought to focus on, what things you ought to do, but sometimes we are masters of delusion too. We tend to like ignore things and lie to ourselves. Why? Because we've been programmed in inverted system, where we've been programmed to lie to ourselves and to others. But it all starts with ourselves. If you're programmed to lie to yourself, guess what? You're not going to be truthful with anybody else. The truth starts within us, right? And once I'm owning the fact that, hey, I'm fucking up, I'm not like really standing in my truth, this is where the healing starts. This is the core of healing, right? Calling yourself on your own bullshit, and be willing to look at those things that are not in alignment with your highest good.
And and when you do figure that out, like, whoa, I have all of this, I haven't addressed this within me, I haven't addressed this wounding, this trauma, this pain, like my inner child wounding or whatever it is, like, it's good to have no judgment. Yeah, and just be like, okay, I have this, okay, and just like come into complete acceptance of whatever the block is, within you. Because then when you have that, when you're in that place of no judgment within yourself, then it's totally easier to go and heal it. Instead of like judging yourself and saying like, oh my God, da, 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 saying all this bullshit stuff to yourself, and sometimes you block yourself from your own healing.
Right.
When
So
you get judgment.
So what I wanted to say also with the context of like calling yourself out on your own bullshit, have compassion for yourself, right? So like we tend to be our own biggest critics, and we talk about it in our like self-love course, right? Like, curbing your own critic, because we generally talk to ourselves in a way internally that we would never talk to our best friend, right? So why do we talk to ourselves that way? And it's not serving us. So the compassion for self is really important, and a self-care and self-healing is really act of self-love. Yeah. It's the ultimate care for oneself, right? If we are choosing to deny the truth to ourselves, if we're choosing, and it's all choice, and like from soul level, I honor every soul if they're choosing to ignore it. It's not my journey, it's their journey, right? It's not of my business if somebody chooses not to heal. But those of you who choose to advance, to expand, to ascend, healing is an important part, because how else are you going to advance? How are you going to expand if you're not willing to look at yourself honestly? And Paramahansa Yogananda said, like, guess what? When you exit this dimension, so let's say we exit this physical body, our consciousness continues to exist, right? You are at where you were when you left this physical body. If you left with unresolved anger, resentment, whatever it was, guess what? You have to work on it then. You take it with you. It doesn't end here. And so like that's why it serves us to like resolve it here, because now in this physical density we have a unique ability to like release a lot of karma, a lot of other issues. Yeah. This is a unique playground designed for that. And if you don't resolve it in this dimension, sometimes you have to incarnate again, maybe in a different place,
in a different planet
that is energetically similar, and you have to go through these lessons all over again. So like, shit, I've had enough. I choose to do that now.
Now.
But if somebody chooses to do it 100 times over, okay, be my guest. It's not my choice, but I honor the soul if that's what they choose for themselves. And sometimes these lessons are difficult, like, lessons of forgiveness. Some people are in that state of resentment and they can't let go and they can't forgive. And guess what? They have to keep repeating same lessons over and over and over again.
In the same lifetime. I mean, I know I did.
Or multiple lifetimes.
I did.
Some souls will take multiple lifetimes just to get one lesson. If it's forgiveness or if it's, compassion or whatever it is, and we have now unique opportunity through this ascension process to get rid of karma and to learn so many lessons all at once. It's truly a gift from universe. Yes. So I choose to embrace that.
Yeah, and so this is why, like Iggy and I, our mission here, we know our mission here after doing like a lot of healing on ourselves, and we continue to do that right now. Like, we know the importance of the healing process, and we just see the shift in us and our energetic field, and how the healing process for us has really helped us anchor ourselves in our soul mission here on the planet as starseeds. And so we, are here, to help people expand, and also to help other starseeds understand their mission here on the planet. And it could be a planetary mission, too. And so, which I feel that it is for starseeds, a planetary mission.
Absolutely.
And we know it has to start first inside. It has to start within. And when you start healing yourself, the whole collective consciousness expands. Yeah, you just when you heal yourself, you up level the consciousness of humanity, too. So you're doing a service to all of the beings.
Right, because when we stop our own bullshit, we stop contributing to stop contributing pollution of our own consciousness, right, of the collective.
Right. Yeah. And so this is why, we're just urging all of you guys right now to start looking within, start looking at those things that are not in alignment, those limitations, those blocks, the wounding inside, all of that trauma inside. Because first of all, who wants to live with that shit? Nobody. No one wants to live with that bullshit. Can you imagine if you didn't have any of that within you? Zero. You had no pain, no trauma.
How would that feel in your life? What kind of existence would that be for you? And what would that mean? What would that mean to you?
What would the earth look like if no one had any trauma? Okay, that's where we're going. That's what I want you guys to know. Focus on that. That's the trajectory that humanity is going towards right now. We're going towards a new earth where we're not going to have a lot of bullshit like that. We're not going to have so much of this, polarity and all the, what we're seeing here on the planet right now. So much division, so much separation consciousness. Okay, so because the separation consciousness is within us. And so we have to heal the separation, within our own divinity, right, within us.
And cut all the tethers to it, right?
Yeah.
And so we are not fully anchored in our mission to be of assistance, to help guide others through their own healing journey. I'm fully committed to be in service to the light, to the universe, to this planet, to ascension of humanity. Whatever that means, right? I am aligned with the will of God to let whatever needs to come through me to help others. We're here to assist. And so we would encourage you to look at all of those things that when you look within, it makes you cringe, right?
Yeah.
Because those are usually the things that you try to hide from others. We are all trained to put masks, present our best side, right? Which is usually, this is part of ego, right? This is that false sense of self, the false self that we present to the world or others, because we don't feel ourselves worthy if we're not fully healed, right? There are aspects of ourselves we want to hide. That's the closet full of skeletons and things that we would rather no one see. And many times we even keep that hidden from our loved ones, because we are not honest with ourselves, and when you fully come into place of self-love, you accept all of that. This is the shadow work, right? Shadow work is honestly looking at all aspects of yourself, understanding that we contain both dark and light within us, and we need to integrate those together.
So it is about polarity integration and merging the two, so that you can get into that place of the 0 point field, where then in that place you'll have that inner harmony, that balance inside, that sense of well-being. And so I'm sure a lot of you guys have tried many different healing modalities. Because I sure have. I've tried a lot of different kinds of healing modalities, for myself. I've seen a psychologist. I did that. I went through therapy. I did all of that stuff. I've done light healing. I've done a lot of different things over the years, and so we have found that you can really make quantum leaps in healing when you use plant medicine. That's what we have found.
Right.
That's what we have found.
Well, it needs to be done in a very specific way.
Yeah.
Right?
And
It needs to be done properly, always in a sacred ceremony, always with reverence, always with powerful intentions. And so when we prepare people for retreats and for journeys with plant medicine, we prepare them for weeks in advance. And there is like a detox period. There is a preparation with intentions and why intentions are important. And we talk about all these things. And usually we have one-on-one with every individual to discuss their unique issues and how they would choose to approach them.
And so that we just know that these sacred plants were put on the planet to help heal humanity and help humanity, ascend. And so we want to bring awareness to the sacred plants. When used with intention, to heal, it can really catapult you, a lot. And this is why, for us, thank God for us, we haven't been in ceremony with anybody who was,
out of integrity.
Yeah, out of integrity or alignment. And we've done ceremony with just some beautiful people. And so, which is awesome. And so that has helped us really expand in our role as space holders when we hold ceremony for other people, too, because we do that. We do hold ceremony for other people. And because, some of our gifts are turned on, we bring in a cosmic frequency into our ceremonies, which takes the healing to another level. It takes the healing to a multi-dimensional, level. And so I have to own, I'm going to say it out loud, like I'm owning the gifts that I have inside of me, where I can see all the bullshit in people's energy field, where I can see like your chakras, I can see negative alien architecture and implants and see timelines and things like that. And so, now I'm like putting myself out there, to do, quantum healing ceremonies, multi-dimensional healing ceremonies for people, too, as a celestial shaman here, because I work with those energies, those cosmic energies, and can help people in that way. So whatever healing modality you do feel called to do, it really is good to have like an intention before doing that healing modality, whatever it is. It could be acupuncture, it could be whatever, any kind of healing modality.
But then have absolute trust that that is the right modality for you, and believe that that is the modality that will help you to heal. Right. Because that intention is really focus of your consciousness. So, if you're going to go into it fully, fully committed, not halfway, not half-hearted, whatever. This is not also a way to approach plant medicine. You only ought to approach plant medicine if you are truly committed and called by it, that you know that this is the right path or right modality for me.
Yeah, and so if you guys have any questions about any kind of healing modalities, doesn't have to be plant medicine, any kind of anything, healing with essential oils, healing, energy healing, whatever kind of healing modality, you can reach out to us, and we can even direct you to different healers besides us, if you feel called to something specific. And we just know that we want to put out there for everyone to really know that this is the time to address all of the distortions within you. It's time to get rid of that right now and stop living with that density inside.
We are truly in a Stargate activation cycle, which means that we are fully in an ascension process.
Right.
And so the sooner you address it, the better for you, because again, we cannot take this with us into higher vibrations. So we need to release, release, release. This is why a lot of people are having difficulties. That's why they're struggling, because they are feeling different and they don't quite understand why. And so like this is the time to go within, and we encourage everybody to start developing a relationship with your higher self and basically get guidance from your inner guru. Be your own guru. That's what we believe in. That is what we are helping everybody to get to.
Because your heart, this is why we drink cacao, your heart, cacao helps you open up your heart, and your heart is a portal. It's a portal to the divine. It's a portal to your higher self, and you have all the answers, within you already. It's all there within you. And so when you understand things on multidimensional level, on an energetic level, you really can commune more with the higher aspect of who you are, your higher self, and totally get guidance there, because we're not separate from our soul. We're not separate. Like, we're really soul in the physical body, so it's not separate at all. So
source energy,
source energy, God energy, unity consciousness, love consciousness, that's all within us. And so we're just urging you right now to go out there and really look at yourself. Take some time and reflect inside of, to see and feel all those things inside of you that are like not in alignment with who you are, and start to move towards releasing, letting go, healing those things that are out of alignment with your original divine blueprint.
Yeah, if you want to get a ticket on the lit train, there's you're not gonna get on a lit train if you have all this dark baggage with you.
Yeah, that's right. You're not gonna get on come with us on the lit train. And we're gonna take that lit train and fly, and put some wings on that lit train and fly together. We just want to thank you guys for sticking around with us for this last hour. We are so happy to do these talks, and for me, it really is sharing the things inside that I know of more, and putting myself out there more, because I know that Iggy and I are here to help humanity, and we can't do that just sitting on the couch. So we need to push ourselves and really put ourselves out there to help. So if you guys have any questions about anything,
or need guidance,
or whatever. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys that we're gonna come out with our cacao and self-love challenge on 11/11. It's going to be coming out soon in our Living in Om community, which we're going to be putting out. I felt guided to create an online community
that is outside of Facebook.
That's outside of Facebook, outside of Instagram, so it can't get hijacked. And so
we can talk about whatever.
And we can talk about whatever we want. We won't get censored or anything. So
there won't be any interference.
No interference at all. So look out for that. It's not out yet, but we're going to put that out on the sacred portal of 11/11. Iggy and I will be in Mount Shasta on 11/11.
Oh, and we'll be doing a virtual cacao ceremony.
So if you guys want to receive some healing and codes for that 11/11 portal day, we encourage you to sign up for our virtual cacao ceremony and light code activation on 11/11. If you are local here in where we live in Sacramento, we are doing a physical in-person ceremony on November 13th, and we just that just opened up, and whoa, we can do a ceremony. And but if you're not close to us, you could do our virtual cacao ceremony. We've only done one, but this was such a push to really bring in and anchor these 11/11 energies, because 11/11 is an activation code of awakening. And so it's
a powerful energetic vortex.
Yeah, so when we're in Mount Shasta you know, we're gonna, you know, do some grid work there, but we're gonna also receive what was told to me. So we're gonna receive.
You don't move your head, I move my head.
Okay. We're gonna receive a lot, and so we want to really give, you know, people these light code activations on 11/11. So, and if you can't make it at that time, because we're gonna be doing it on Zoom from California time, 9/11 to 11/11 a.m. You can still sign up, and we're going to send you the replay, you know, for that ceremony, and you can do it at home. We'll give you directions on how to make cacao, and how to set up your ceremony space, and you can watch the ceremony whenever it's convenient, you know, for you, because we'll be transmitting these codes, and it doesn't matter because the codes defy time and space. So it doesn't matter what you listen to it, you're still gonna like receive all the healing and all the activations. So you know, we'll put the link to that here in this video, and you guys can sign up for that if you feel called to do a virtual cacao ceremony for us. But look out for our Living in Home community. We're going to be doing our cacao and self-love challenge on 11/11 and putting it out there, you know, and we'll let you guys know when that starts, and come join the Living in Home community, because we want to like take everybody there. We want to move everybody there to the Living in Home community, so we can talk about everything, you know, without getting censored, you know, in that community. All right, you guys, we love you guys so freaking much.
So much love to everyone.
So much love to all of you guys, and have a wonderful 11/11, which is coming up. We're already in the energies of 11/11, and later on in the month is the Pleiades Gateway. So that's happening towards the end of the month too. And just want to shout out to my beautiful soul sister Z, who is going to be doing a Pleiades Gateway ceremony.
Go Z.
Go Z. Yeah, Earth Star Sanctuary. Go look her up, and she's going to be doing that. So Iggy and I are going to be participating in that, but she's a badass starseed who's here to freaking heal and awaken humanity on super multi-dimensional level, and she goes in spaces where it's so dark, and she helps a lot. So anyways, go check her out, you know, for that's coming up at the end of the month. And if you are here in Sacramento, we have a cacao ceremony on December 4th. So that's going to be our last cacao ceremony for this year. And if you guys need any kind of help, if you like energetic healing, if you want information about, you know, our retreats, please reach out to us. All right, you guys, thank you so much. We love you, love you, love you, love you from the bottom of our hearts.
Much love to all of
you.
Much
love to every single one of you. Sending
Namaste.
Hugs and kisses, rainbows to all of you. Namaste. All right.